Hi, I'm Mike, and today we have an unexpected but much needed project to complete. We need to make a new enclosure and move the pigs on our Wyoming Life. It's the first day of fall, and man, does it feel like it. It's about 8 a.m. Temperature is hovering about 42 degrees, although we are looking for a high today of 57. The rain is moving in again, and bitter cold wind is blowing in from the south at anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour. It's not the best day to be working outside, but after I ran around and did my chores this morning, I made my way over here to the pig stall and found out that these guys had some fun. They somehow figured out how to wedge their water nozzle open, and in doing so, made a nice big mess in their stall. It's beyond the point of trying to clean it up. It needs to dry out, and it's not going to be able to do it with these guys still living in here. So today, we build a new stall and move them over. The whole process starts with coming up with a plan.
Benjamin Franklin said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." It's a good quote, and I think I have a good plan, or at least I hope I do. This is the pig shed. It's about 60 feet long and 16 feet wide. For the last few months, the pigs have been living in one end of the shed, in an area about 16 foot square. Inside that stall of the shed, the water has been spraying for a few hours. And even though these guys have been having the time of their life playing in the nasty mud, it's imperative that we get them moved as soon as possible. My plan is to build a new stall right next to this one, then cut a hole out of the wood wall between the two, creating a door and allowing them to move into the new stall. After they are all in the new stall, we'll block off the door to keep them in their nice new clean area. In the area we want to build a new stall is a bunch of hay. We've been using it for bedding for the pigs and pitching it over the wall to them, but now it needs to be moved. Using the bobcat, I'm able to pick up most of the hay and move it out of the way, while leaving some, just enough, to be able to make a nice, soft, and warm floor for them to hang out in their new stall. With that done, it's time to go and gather the materials to build a new wall and make the new stall. Luckily, we have some leftover lumber over by the shop. We pick out a few 16-foot 2x6s and a few pieces of 3/4 inch particle board plywood. The wind can pick up and change direction at any time, so it's super important to make sure you keep a tight hand on these big pieces of wood like this. So I use my head and manage to get the plywood loaded up. As I'm getting ready to head back over, I spy the boss keeping an eye on me from the house. I think he's trying to tell me I forgot something. He's probably right. I may have, but I'll figure it out later. Back at the pig shed, we unload our lumber and then head back to the shop for some tools. This is the DeWalt Wall, where I store my battery-powered tools. I have them all here, with chargers to keep the batteries fresh, and we pick out an impact wrench for driving screws, a circular saw for cutting off boards, and a reciprocating saw for cutting lumber in those hard-to-reach spaces. All those tools are taken out to the gator and dropped off. Then it's back into the shop to grab some screws to fasten the wall to the existing posts. Then we check in with the stinky pigs before backing the gator into the shed to get all the tools close to where we're going to be using them. The first problem we run into is the fact that one of the boards that I brought over is too short. I should have measured, but that's okay. I have another board. I'll run and grab it. Back with the new board, and I'm going to leave again to go get a tape measure. Back again with the tape measure, and now I can get to cutting our bottom board to length. After a quick cut with the circular saw, we widen out the gap between these two existing bottom boards to allow the new board to slip between them. This is actually an unexpected surprise, as it's going to hold that bottom board very secure. These boards are extremely warped from being outside, but after another trip to the shop to grab a clamp, I pull the board back up against the existing post, then quickly fasten the board to the post using 4-inch screws. Back to the other end, I screw that in place as well. Then we measure 4 feet up for our top crossboard and mark that on the post. The existing pig panel fencing is in the way, so we'll go back to the shop and grab a pair of bolt cutters, come back, and nip off the offending piece of the fence. After attaching one end, I can lift up the other end, and using the clamp again to pull the board tight against the post, I secure it in place with those 4-inch screws. This gives us 2 horizontal braces to hold up our plywood, which we will attach next. After a bit of what my dad called finagling, I'm not even sure if that's a word, I get the plywood up and into place. Some of these projects would definitely benefit from an extra set of hands, but since it's just me, I have to figure it out. And I'm a huge fan of using clamps as an extra hand. Once it's in place, we attach it with 2-inch screws. The other side is going to be a little bit more work. Remember that pre-existing piece that I praised earlier for adding a bit more security to our new lower brace? Well, now it's in the way. Easily dealt with though. Using the reciprocating saw, I cut a notch to allow the plywood to drop over the brace. Then cut it again, and move it a little bit, and then move a little bit of dirt to get it even. After it's in its place, then it's another round of 2-inch screws to attach it to our braces. Then I add a vertical brace to the area where the 2 pieces of plywood come together to help strengthen that area. Now comes the icky part. I'm going to have to climb in with the pigs in their nasty stall and move their watering system from one stall to the next. That requires muck boots. Waterproof and crap-proof. These boots will save me from ruining a pair of cowboy boots and hopefully a pair of jeans. Like Superman changing in a phone booth, I'm now ready to deal with the nastiness. To keep the pigs from bugging me the whole time I'm trying to do this, I'm going to put some food in their bucket to keep them busy and hopefully not fall on my butt while I'm doing it. Once they're occupied, I can disconnect the water and remove the screws that hold their water in place and set it outside the shed before escaping myself. After reattaching the waterer in their new stall, I hook it up and turn it on, testing it out to see that everything works just fine. I'll move around a little bit of the hay to make sure we get all the floor covered up, as the next step is to move in the pigs. I head back over to the nasty stall, and using the reciprocating saw, I cut a quick hole in the wall, then attach some backing 2x6s to screw the door back into place once we get them moved into their new house. A few of the pigs come right in, but that food that I gave them to keep them busy is working against me. So I try to get some garden scraps to move them into the new area, but with the newness of it all, they're not really interested. So once again, it's back to the nasty to pick up their bucket of food and toss it over the wall into the new stall. Now they have no reason, besides super fun mud, to stay in the old stall, and neither do I. My best bet is to wait and let them move into the new stall, which they do in their own time. Once they're all in, I can replace the hole in the fence I cut and screw it into place, locking them in their brand new home. It's nice, it's clean, unlike the pigs themselves, but they seem happy. I know they say happier than a pig in mud, but this is ridiculous. I'll wait a while for it to dry out. Then I'll scoop it out with the bobcat, replace some of the dirt, disinfect it, and throw in some more straw, making 2 stalls side by side that the pigs can move back and forth in, living in one while the other is being cleaned. Not a bad plan, Mr. Franklin.
We aren't pig farmers. We don't raise pigs. Well, technically I guess we do, but we don't keep a sow or a mom pig, and we definitely don't keep a boar or a daddy pig. We buy what are known as weaner pigs when they're about a month old. Then we raise them for 6 months until they're big. Then they go off to a USDA meat processing facility and come back to us as bacon and pork chops and ham and all that goodness, which we sell at farmers markets and directly to our customers. I have a ton of respect for pig farmers. Pigs are a lot of work, but we're done with them for the day, and we just beat the rain. I've gotten a shower, and now it's off to pick up Kenzie from school before I come back and start another project. Not sure what that's going to be yet, but I'm sure it's waiting behind the next gate or fence post. Do me a favor and check us out on Facebook. We post stuff on there you can't find anywhere else, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Kittler's trying to get in the car. If you really care about where your food comes from, hit subscribe and join us on our journey to let you see it in an all-new way. Thanks for doing that. Have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.